I got my wheelbarrow back.
Please send help. Get out.
You're like killing them, putting them in the ground.
Yeah, they'll be right.
Hey, so today we're finishing some important jobs that I have been putting off for a long time. Not for any good reason, just it's one of those things where we just didn't finish it and then we never got back around to it. We kept prioritizing things like the sheep and, you know, with all the weather that's been going on, like I've got a whippersnipper again. I'm whippersnippering once a week at this point, it's ridiculous. But what we're gonna do is we are going to cut the rest of the beds. This part here is definitely the cause of some of our procrastination. There's a path through here, but we've encouraged the pumpkins to grow all the way down and through here. So there's actually a whole bunch of vines running across this path, and I just should have done the job earlier, really. Now I've just caused a whole bunch of work for myself. So I'm gonna be doing some weeding, and I'm gonna be trying to thread these timbers underneath all of these vines. The vines are a little sadder, but it's definitely a walkway now. I think it's an improvement. One-handed. It's gonna be a job to turn that soon. Mental list. Don't put it off, Sam. Don't procrastinate. That's looking much nicer. I'm happy with that. There's still plenty more to go over this way. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just kind of guessing with like where Diane wants the beds. I can see clearly there are plants around, but I don't know, like that's pretty close to the fence line to be a garden bed, but you know, like flower bed, sure. You know, but that's a problem. Look at that. It's grown out a compost pile. I know that Di's been talking about it. There's one pumpkin over there. One. It's like a squash. Oh, there's two. And they're in the center, and we've got all of these. Like, look at it's everywhere. Like, I don't think this is necessary. I feel like I could just cut this back. We can pop it in the compost. Like, this is all space that we could be using. I could even be composting right here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make the executive call and at least cut off this section here so it's not coming onto the garden. I got my wheelbarrow back.
Sam has been helping me with fixing up the garden beds. He actually added in some new logs into the garden. We're currently spreading out the wood chips, weeding the garden. It looks like that nasty weed that I hate so much is in here. Please send help. Get out. Don't like you. I'm really grateful for his help. He's actually going to buy a few things to line the pathways so we can start getting rid of the weeds. It doesn't make sense to put wood chips in the pathways because we're adding organic matter to the soil there and then encouraging the weeds to come up between the beds. So instead we're going to lay down some material, some fabric that's going to suppress the weeds, and then either put wood chips on top or just leave it as it is, and then instead be using the wood chips in the garden beds where we want that nutrients. It's going to be Sam's job tomorrow to go out and get some tunnel material as well. So all my brassicas right now are getting destroyed by bugs, as you saw the seedlings, but also the actual plants that I've planted into the ground here are getting destroyed by bugs as well. So I would rather cover it up so that they've got a chance to really establish themselves, and then as they're growing I can be picking off the bugs from them. I have made a plan for our autumn and winter garden here of where I want everything. It might change, but it will most likely stay this way. So as I've mentioned, I'm terrible at looking after seedlings. They're getting attacked by caterpillars, moths that keep landing on them and laying their babies. Just trying to pick them off as best as I can. And once we plant them, we are going to get some tunnels onto them this year. I'm going to plant out the rest of these. I'm also terrible at looking after anything, so my greens have pretty much died. We're still going to plant them out and see if they come back to life. Lots of dead things here as well. These are from the store. Look how dry they get. Ugh. They were gifted to us, so I'm not too worried. I think these are greens of different kinds, so we'll plant them out as well. Onions are doing well too, not anything too exciting going on. I'm probably going to spread some more seed in other parts of the bed. Did I spread seed here? Because it looks like there's lots of onions coming up, so I must have. Woohoo! How good is that? These are my greens, and these are greens that were gifted to us from the store. They're probably not going to survive, but we'll try. Oh, soil. How deep that goes. Now this is a bed that our pigs and our chickens prepared, and then we literally just put compost here that they spread. So it's so incredible to see it so alive and deep with rich black soil. Oh, makes me happy. Lots of worms. Aussie. I love the look of fresh wood chips. So nice. So I started planting out. Yes, I was using my hands. You know, I love getting my hands dirty in the ground. But I started planting out the broccoli, and I realized that I don't want to just plant one type of plant in one bed. So what I ended up actually doing is planting a bit of greens, so my lettuces and things like that here. Then at the front, I've got some cabbages. Whether they make it or not, I guess we'll see. In the middle, I've got some Brussels sprouts. They grow like trees, so they're going to be really tall one day and hopefully shade out the lettuce from the sun. Although I think the lettuce will still get the morning sun and then not the afternoon sun if it's harsh. The Brussels sprouts will be shading out the lettuce at one point, although they might retire by that point. At the front, I've laid out some more onions as well, and so I've planted the seeds directly into the ground this time. And then over in this bed, I've put the rest of my broccolini. I think cabbage at the end, I'm not quite sure. And I'll probably sprinkle some onion seeds throughout here before covering it up with wood chips. And then I have a couple more broccolis that I've put in this bed, and just to see how they go. This is going to be an onion bed as well. So these 4 beds are going to be greens, broccoli or brassicas and onions. So all of them mixed together. I'm hoping the onion will deter bugs. And then if one bed gets attacked by bugs, hopefully another one will be okay. I just absolutely love planting things together. It just looks so much nicer when it grows. And different things you end up doing better in different places. Because all of these grow at different rates as well, different things will come to maturity and die off before others. Love how rough I am. Best one will survive.
You're like killing them, putting them in the ground.
They'll be right.
That was like buried.
Shut up. Don't tell me how to garden. Do you garden or do I?
You just stepped on them.
They'll be okay. They need to toughen up.